Slide it in and hold the throttle to keep the car drifting and the tyres smoking. Hello and welcome to Speed Week. Today it's off to Wakefield Park for the inaugural Autobahn Drift Battle. 16 of the nation's best drift daredevils have assembled for a groundbreaking competition to decide who is the king, or as the case may be, the queen of slide. Also today, there's more of our international open wheel competition with some action-packed British F3 from Knock Hill. First up though, let's head to Wakefield.
Oversteer in motorsport is a dirty word, but in the sport of drifting, it's the only way to go. Hello and welcome to Wakefield Park for the Autobahn Drift Battle, a fantastic exhibition with the top 16 guys from around the country here to go sideways, and the crowd will absolutely love it. Started off in Japan in the early 90s, it's going great guns in the States, and it's really kicking off here in Australia. Evan Jones from Autobahn, drifting is the only way to go. It's just growing all the time.
Yeah, and the crowd really love it. You always see them get off their seats and come to the side of the track and have a look. It's very, very exciting.
Now, there's no stopwatch here, so how do we judge it, and what are we likely to see? What is drifting?
Three basic criteria we're looking for. It is actually a race, so we actually have a cat and mouse sort of situation. The front car is trying to get away, the car behind it is trying to catch them, but of course they've got to be drifting and they're trying to get up close as possible to each other. The second part, we're looking at racing line and making sure that the drift angle is quite wide, and of course racecraft and the overall style of the drift is also judged.
Onto the Toyo Tyres grid right now. We take a look at your top 16 here today. Spencer against Newton, Sullivan faces Appleton, Sampson v Young, Truella against Phillips. This is the Autobahn Drift Battle. Vahumis versus Calero, Bolger versus Mioch, Brennan versus McKinnon, and Yates against Vahumis. So that's your Toyo Tyres top 16, and Jeff Bolus joins me in commentary. Jeff, what a great day for an excellent battle of drifting.
Sure is, Wade, and they won't actually start drifting until they get to the orange witches hats at the start of the Toyo Tyres turn one. This is all preliminary at the moment, and here we go.
Yes, into the first part of the battle here. Michael Spencer, 19 years of age from Canberra, up against 21-year-old Adam Newton from Victoria. What are judges looking for today, Jeff?
Judges are looking for line, they're looking for speed, and they're looking for angle, all of which Spencer has hit bucket loads on this one, and the judges have judged 6-4 in favour of Spencer.
So style, very important. The way you have the car hung right out, plenty of smoke, tyres lit, all that sort of stuff.
All that kind of stuff, flashing in the headlights, etc.
So judges, as you said, scoring 6-4 in favour of Spencer in run one. Run two now. What is Newton going to do about this? Newton
needs a knockout blow here. Newton needs to really be all over the back of Spencer, which he is. Coming into the Autobahn S's now, he's looking for a lot of angle and he's just not managing to get it.
Going to say the car very straight through the corners, not a whole lot of angle. Spencer has got a whole lot of style going here, Jeff.
Fantastic stuff from the young fella from the ACT. He's done very well there.
Great looking car here too. Excellent crowd here today as well. The Autobahn Drift Battle, and to see Spencer in the one veer taking the victory.
Yes, a great performance there from the young fella from the ACT. Now we've got the first of our WA competitors.
Michael Sullivan from Perth up against Darren Appleton. Now Darren is 34 years of age. He's ancient in drifting.
Certainly is, and look at that. Unbelievable. The Mike Sullivan from the WA there has unfortunately spun it out and left Afro Appleton to go through the course. Basically, he's conceded the drift battle. Afro Appleton goes through unopposed there.
Oh, but have a look at it. He's not going to conserve the car by any means. Some good style there.
Absolutely not. No, Darren Appleton is one of the leading lights of the Australian drift scene.
How often do you see a competitor spear off the racetrack like that?
Quite regularly, particularly in a drift battle. Here we go now with run two. Sullivan needs to absolutely pull it all out of the hat. And he's done a very, very good job, but Appleton basically just needs to complete the course to win here. Manages to do that and show a little bit of style, but great effort from Sullivan, and that's what we've come to expect from him in all the national competitions so far this year.
This would have been a great battle had the West Aussie not gone off the circuit, because Sullivan showed some good form there. In the end, though, Appleton wins the confrontation. Sampson up against Young now.
Sure does. Josh Young, the Queenslander in the what can only be referred to as the pink Hachiroku. Josh Young, actually, when I first saw that car, there were no two panels the same colour on it. He's done very well. Matt Sideburn Sampson from the Full Lock team. Look at the angle from these two guys. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Oh, extremely close there. Obviously no penalties for going off the circuit as long as you keep the thing sideways, Jeff.
No penalties at all, provided you keep the thing sideways. That was a really, really good battle there. Fantastic stuff. And judges scored that one just to the narrowest of margins by Josh Young.
Well, the guys, obviously some colourful personalities. We've heard about Afro already and Sideburns. There's some colourful dudes behind the wheel.
Absolutely right there. Matt Sampson, one of the leading lights in drifting from Victoria. The Full Lock car with over 200 kilowatts, and look at that fantastic job.
Through the Autobahn S's, both guys got it really hung out, really pushing the judges here. This will be a very tight battle, one would think. Look at that. Great shots here at Goulburn. Autobahn drift battle stuff, and in the end, Young just over Sampson.
Absolutely microscopic, but fantastic work there from the Queenslander.
Truella up against Phillips. This will be a good battle as well.
Yes, Truella, the wild man there from WA, and Phillips from South Australia. This is going to be a truly national battle.
Adam Zafiro with 260 kilowatts at the rear wheels, whereas the Skyline, 320 kilowatts. So no one's lacking horsepower.
No, absolutely not. And look how sideways these two competitors are getting.
Phillips looking extremely good here. In fact, there's some trouble for the West Aussie. Truella, you would think Phillips is going to nail this one. Look at him here into the Toyo turn. This boy's really got it cranking.
Absolutely right. The run's basically been conceded by the Zafiro there of Truella, unfortunately.
But you guys using a little bit of handbrake to get into the corners by the looks of things,
yes,
Jeff?
Yes, some of them are. Some of them are just using Scandinavian flick, or what's referred to in Japan as a feint. And now Phillips goes through on his own because the first run was conceded. And look at this with the pressure off.
Oh,
check out how sideways that is.
That's what you call getting big points for the judges. I would think they're going to be happy with that.
Yes, judges on their feet and dipping their hats.
Through the Autobahn S's. Good job. And Phillips absolutely nails the West Aussie Truella, who's wondering why he crossed the Nullarbor right now. And that's why. Look at this style.
Absolutely right. And even more points for the Japanese number plate on the back of the Skyline there too.
Should explain some of the terms you were saying about Mungie earlier on. What does that mean?
Yes, that's what you might call a snake drift going left to right. And now we've actually got our first female competitor.
The Drift Cats. Calero. That's going to be an interesting battle. The only female in the field this weekend.
Absolutely right. Coming up against one of the leading lights of drifting in this country, James Verhumis.
So good luck, Catherine.
Indeed. And she's going to need every bit of it. Look how sideways he's getting. Verhumis with the big smoke and the big sideways.
This is good stuff here from Wakefield Park Raceway. The Autobahn drift battle through the Toyo turn. They move. Geez, everybody so sideways. This is racking up big points for Angle, I would think.
Absolutely right. Huge points for Angle there. Drift Cat has done fantastically well to be so close. She's just missed out in that first run, but very, very close to one of the top guys.
Verhumis 5.3 to 4.7 for the Drift Cat. Catherine Calero, bit of trouble there.
Yeah, just a little bit of trouble there, but Verhumis is so consistent.
Look at the horsepower. Verhumis' car makes 270 kilowatts at the rear wheels, whereas Catherine's still almost 200 kilowatts, so that ProTech engine's still doing a good job.
Exactly right. When I first met Drift Cat, and Verhumis there with a solid win there over Drift Cat, when I first met her, she was drifting a VKSS.
Robbie Bolger. Many people know about Robbie Bolger, this Kappa drift unit, the most powerful drift car in the country. 1,000 horsepower, that's amazing.
Absolutely right, but James Mioch leading the way there, putting the pressure on him, and he's going to have to do a lot to build up here.
Bolger from Queensland, very much an entertainer, almost a professional style entertainer, but Mioch, as you said, got his hands full at the moment.
Absolutely right. Mioch is making him work for this one. He's really, really underpowered compared to Robbie Bolger.
This is the closest drift battle we've seen so far. Through the Toyo turn they come, and Mioch
just getting his nose in front.
Yeah, 5.3 to a 4.7, so Bolger's got a lot of work to do.
And what's this?
Oh, it's really got the need for speed here, Bolger.
And it looks like James has conceded the battle. He's got a bit of a problem there.
Oh, that's a shame, because this was going to go right down to the wire. Look at Bolger, though. Smoking smoking them all the way through the corners. Out of the Autobahn S as he comes. Bolger! He's got a real need for speed, this dude.
Check it out. Plenty of smoke, plenty of sideways. Judges would have really been happy with that. Just really unfortunate there for James.
Oh, Mioch will be dirty, mate. He almost had Bolger in the bag. There is the Kappa Ute, most powerful drift vehicle in the country. 1,000 horsepower. That's insane. A 427 cubic inch motor. And we now take a look. Oh, look at this. I've got you, mate. I've got you. McKinnon versus Brennan.
Yes, the thinker, Steve Brennan there in the S15. Fantastic car. That car's a project only half completed, actually.
That could have been the same thing at any set of street lights anywhere in the country, that little look just then through the window. But meanwhile, we've got some excellent angle and style going on here.
Yes, indeed. Steve Brennan there. Fantastic effort. Great angle and great speed. Very, very consistent performance.
So you don't need to have the most horsepower, Jeff. You just need to be clever with what you've got.
Exactly right. You'll find if you've got a lightweight car that's low on horsepower, you're always going to get good points for speed and you're always going to be able to get good angle. You should be able to carry it through too. Steve Brennan leading off in the second run.
In any other form of sport other than maybe chess, the nickname The Thinker is not exactly going to run fear through your opposition, is it? But in this game, you do have to think a bit, although he's got trouble there.
Exactly right, and that's a bit unlucky there for Steve. McKinnon's been able to turn the tables on him, which is unfortunate there. He takes it through to the end of the drift there, but Steve was unlucky, and McKinnon has just got it out a little bit there, but it's okay. We're coming up to the end of the drift run now, and there it is. McKinnon on the basis that Steve Brennan spun on the second run there takes it through 11 to 9.
Yeah, a narrow victory in the end. Bad luck indeed for the Thinker. Here he goes, where maybe he had a bit of a lapse of thinking.
Yeah, I think he just carried on a bit too much here. He was just trying to pull a little bit too much off, and normally Steve can pull those off. It's just a shame he didn't do it on this time.
Well, here's the South Aussie, Kelly McKinnon, really getting into the agricultural side of things, but still staying hard on the gas.
Absolutely right.
Bahumas up against Yates. We're talking about a couple of classic vehicles here. The WRX, the JVC entry. Man, this thing's been prepared by the best of the best to get racing, and he's got trouble already this weekend.
Absolutely right. The WRX has a need for dirt track rally action, and on this occasion he's found the dirt, which is unfortunate. Bo's one of the top ranked competitors in the country. WRX is something you very, very rarely see on drift circuits around the world.
And this one's built, of course, by the Pro Technica Subaru racing team. It was all part of the Australian GTP Touring Car Championship, so it's got some pedigree. But at the moment, Danny Vahumis is kicking butt.
Exactly right. Denzo is a fantastic performer and he's very consistent. Unfortunately, Bo just wouldn't hang on to it.
A little unfortunate for Pro Technica and JVC. I had a spin into the first corner, so hopefully this time around I can get a better entry and hopefully the competitor spins. We'll just see what happens.
A little bit different, this WRX. She's not a four-wheel drive, she's been converted to rear wheel.
Yeah, no, this one's actually two-wheel drive, and it's my second time in the car, so I'm still getting used to it all, coming from a little nimble Toyota Sprinter. So,
well, this has been fantastic stuff so far. We have a look at how hard on board now. Danny Vahumis, the K&N air filters onboard camera, giving us a good look at Bo Yates up in front. Vahumis working very hard behind the wheel, Jeff.
Exactly right. Vahumis is always very consistent, but look at the angle and look at the speed from Bo Yates when he finally manages to get it all together. That's the first time he's ever been out in that car. Yes, Wade, how good will he be when he gets a bit more time in the car?
Well, Bo gets the win in run two, but the overall victory goes to Vahumis. There's more drifting coming up soon. Earlier we caught up with the Mad Irishman, Robbie Bolger, about his awesome ute.
Hey, Robbie Bolger, you're the mad bastard behind this ute. Tell me why a Holden ute in amongst all the Japanese makes and models?
Mate, somebody has to show them how to do it. Like, we are in Australia, I think, so Australian cars in a Japanese series, I think it's really good for the sport, and hopefully we'll see Ford here and other people soon. But basically Paul Morris helped us a lot with the car. It's basically all the suspension is supercar, which came from Paul Morris. Kappa and Holden helped us develop the car. We've got an agreement with Holden to do drifting for the next 2 years. So basically it's got Penske suspension, it's a C5R engine, 427 cubic inch, a Vortex blower, makes 1,022 horsepower at the wheels.
Half the field has now been eliminated, and it brings us to our Toyo Tyres top 8. Spencer versus Appleton, Young and Phillips, Vahumis, Bolger, McKinnon and Danny Vahumis. The Autobahn drift battle from Wakefield Park here in Goulburn. Spencer in the 1-veer for the ACT up against Appleton, also in a 1-veer. So we've got a couple of 1-veers out there.
Exactly right. Very good platform for drifting, and check this out. Look how sideways Darren Appleton's getting the afro. He's really hanging it out.
Well, this is an absolute cutthroat competition. They've halved the field. You can see both guys still getting plenty of angle, still trying to impress the judges. Plenty of style is what you need here.
Yes, indeed, and that's a 6-4 victory from the judges. They're very, very close indeed. Spencer leading off in run 2.
The youngest man in the field up against the oldest man in the field, effectively. Appleton, 34 years of age, got the wipers going and everything here, and he's lost it!
Oh, unlucky for Spencer, who was going really well there too. That's a shame.
The hybrid drift entry in all sorts of bother. And that is a dead set tragedy, as you said. Disaster for Spencer. Gives a second run to Appleton. And look at him, absolutely styling with it. Overall, the win to Appleton. And the 1-year from Queensland over Spencer. A convincing win. Let's look at it again, Jeff. And what goes wrong?
Yeah, he just seems to get a little bit too far out. Gets onto the dirt. And then just maybe his tyres are a little bit dirty there, not quite sure, but he's lost a bit of traction and loops the car, which is unfortunate. The Afro Appleton goes through and takes the victory.
Good job for Appleton to miss him. Young up against Phillips. We take a look at the K&N onboard now in the top right-hand corner of Josh Young, the AE86. Now that's the same style of car that Bo Yates has normally.
Normally that's right, and Phillips is driving Steve Brennan's S15 after his car developed some troubles too. And Josh Young's developed a trouble now too. This is a shame for the Toyotas.
It could have been a bigger problem if the car behind had run into him. That would have been a major drama if Phillips had cannoned into the back of him. So the Autobahn drift battle, not without a share of dramas here as they come out of the Toyo tyres turn. That's hard to say 3 times fast. Well done though. Phillips, I guess, didn't really have to do too much work in the second run, did he?
No, he didn't, and Phillips goes through in Steve Brennan's S15 for a lone drift after the drift battle was conceded by Josh Young there. That's a real shame. Spins it, but it doesn't matter because he's already won the battle.
Do you get points for bagging him up?
Not really, actually. No, you don't get that many points for bagging it up. It's all about getting that fast, wide-angle drift happening, and that's where the points come from.
The constant flow, mate.
Constant flow. That's a beautiful thing.
He's having a good fun run here, though. Absolutely cutting sick at the moment.
Exactly right. They're digging up Gary Wilmington's grass there at Wakefield Park.
The Toyo tyres top 8 is really heating up now. You can see that Phillips eventually crossing the line some time after Young went out, so he's extended the adventure. This will be a good battle. Robbie Bolger up against James Verhoomis. Now Verhoomis already has his hands full here, although he's been regarded as one of the best drifters in the country.
Absolutely right, and certainly one of the best drift cars going up against probably the most powerful. And look at the speed. That is fantastic stuff from Robbie Bolger.
Well, Robbie Bolger, well known throughout the country as an entertainer, normally with the Donut King stunt team. You've often seen him in the Indy events, but look at this ute! Tail hung right out, plenty of smoke, plenty of style, Jeff.
Absolutely right, and very, very close drift battle. The judges slightly giving the advantage there to Bolger.
Verhoomis is doing a good job here, Jeff. He doesn't have anywhere near the cubes that this man on board right now does, but he's doing a heck of a job.
That car, though, has the handling, extended control arms, the whole bit. That's a true drift car from James Verhoomis there, and all he's got, he's up against a large amount of horsepower, basically.
The K&N Airfielders on board's giving us some great pictures here at Wakefield Park today. It's Robbie Bolger on board the Kappa Holden Drift Ute. Bolger's a great driver. He doesn't look that busy, but he certainly is. You can see him really soaring at the wheel here and smoking up the tyres. Look at all the smoke coming in the cab. He's got it bagged.
He certainly has. That's plenty of smoke. Now Verhoomis leads off in round 2.
Well, Verhoomis has done a pretty admirable job, I reckon. He certainly doesn't have the horsepower, but he's got some style, plenty of angle as well. He could be serving it right up to Bolger in run 2 here. Oh, locks him up. Good run from Verhoomis.
Sensational run from Verhoomis. Look at the speed and look how sideways he's getting. Now we'll see how they go up into the last corner of the Autobahn S's and check out that angle.
Oh, you wouldn't want to be a judge. Verhoomis will get the win overall, Jeff.
Yes, but by the narrowest of margins. Bolger, with his horsepower, has the advantage at the end of the run. Verhoomis, with the handling, has the advantage at the start of the run.
Look at Robbie. He's an entertainer. Well done, Verhoomis. That's a giant killing effort right there. McKinnon now up against Verhoomis. This will be a good battle. Couple of Nissans.
Look at the angle, and the K&N onboard really showing us the way there.
This is Danny Denzo Verhoomis here in the pink bits entry, which, well, that's describing the colour of his car, obviously. We'll leave it at that.
Yes, obviously. What an evenly matched run this is. This is very, very close.
Well, we saw James Verhoomis in the previous battle knock off and go into the top 4. Are we about to see his brother Danny do the same thing? It's a very even battle.
And the judges can't split it. That's a 5-all run. Everything hinges on the second run.
Wow, that's incredible stuff. On board now, the K&N Auto Filters Kelly McKinnon entry. On board now, the Adelaide Airport Motel sponsored car right off to the edge of the circuit. Plenty of angle here. This is another good battle.
Oh, look at the angle. There's nothing in this battle either. I don't know what the judges are going to do here. This is as even as it gets. Look at the speed.
Well, two South Aussies really going at it, and in the end, is it going to be McKinnon? Yes, just over Danny Denzo Verhoomis, and she's hot.
Indeed, it's getting very hot in the kitchen there for Denzo.
Well, top 16 now whittled down to just the top 4. It's the Autobahn Drift Battle. These guys will run off, and then later on we'll see them run off for first, second and third. Let's let them rip and drift down the track.
Gibbo's enjoying it down trackside as we take a look at the Toyo Tyres top 4. The semi-finals, Appleton up against Phillips, James Verhoomis and Kelly McKinnon. So this is the battle for third and fourth, and effectively first and second. Appleton up against Phillips. The One-Beer up against the Nissan. Appleton Phillips. This will be a great battle now, Jeff.
Yes, indeed. Afro versus Whiplash. Whiplash in the borrowed S15 is doing a fantastic job. Look at that. But Darren Appleton, plenty of angle.
Gone. Well, as he kept it going, I guess that will probably lose him some points, though. Appleton continuing on his merry way through the Autobahn S's and out of the Toyo Tyres turn. Plenty of angle on this car. Look at him off the circuit, but still almost full lock sideways.
Indeed. Darren Appleton there with a very easy run through. As soon as the S15 looped, that's pretty much battle conceded. So judges will not take much into account from that run at all for the S15.
Appleton pretty well known as Mr. Consistent. That's going to take a whole lot of beating. Here he is again. Beautiful style though. Good angle and good line into the corner then. Certainly as he tries to break back for Phillips, and he's gone again.
Yes, indeed. Very hard to go drifting in a borrowed car. Afro Appleton. Check out the line that he follows around the Autobahn S's. Really top stuff. He's following almost the racing line.
Well, Appleton will march straight into the Toyo Tyres top 2, which effectively will be the final. Well done, Appleton. Those One-Beers are pretty tough. That's for sure. Phillips continuing on and trying to put some runs on the board. James Verhoomis up against Kelly McKinnon. Well, you'd have to lean towards Verhoomis after he knocked off Bolger earlier.
You certainly would. Verhoomis is really torturing those Toyo TPG road tyres on the rear. Check it out. Plenty of smoke, but unlucky for McKinnon.
Verhoomis is going to get major points here anyway just for completing the pass, which we haven't seen all day. So it's pretty well game over once you're able to achieve that. Run 1. It's all the way to James.
That's exactly right. After a pass, it's very, very difficult to gain many points at all.
So McKinnon back on board. That's a look at the angle from his point of view in that K&N Airfielders on board. Verhoomis went through.
Gave him a cold as he went past him.
Absolutely. Now run 2. McKinnon's going to have to pull something out, but look at Verhoomis. Beautiful entry into the corner.
Verhoomis is leading the way there, making it very difficult for McKinnon to impress the judges. And look at the line he's following. That's just fantastic stuff. That's what we've come to expect from Verhoomis.
And in the Autobahn S's comes Verhoomis. He did knock off Robbie Bolger, and that was a hell of an effort. So well done to Verhoomis. He looks like he's on his way towards the finals.
Exactly right. This is why Verhoomis is considered one of the best drifters in the country. And look at that. In a semi-final to go 16-4 is just unbelievable.
Well, we're getting down towards the business end now. The final is looming. Kelly McKinnon and Mark Phillips, the battle for third now in the Autobahn Drift Battle. So this landmark battle where for the first time in Australia the top 16 guys have been assembled at one place. And now the top 16, thanks to Toyo Tyres, comes down to the top 2. But this is the battle now to decide third.
Yes, neither driver with a great deal of angle there, but check out what they're going to do at the end, and look at that from the S15. Fantastic stuff from Phillips.
Cool Kelly versus Whiplash Phillips. They've got all the good names, that is for sure. Phillips at the moment doing a neat job. Will he be able to score the win, though?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Now, that's a decisive win to Phillips in the S15. Remember, that's a borrowed car.
Doing a heck of a job with it. So run 2 coming up now. So can McKinnon break back? Excellent angle into the corner. Good style through the Autobahn S's.
He's definitely not intimidated by the fact he's down on points. He's really taken the battle up to Phillips, and I think he's going to get him. This is a fantastic drift.
Well, McKinnon's got nothing to lose, Jeff. He's got to go for it.
He needs a knockout blow, and that's what he's shooting for at the moment.
Good stuff indeed. We've got a spin towards the end though. It's Phillips, but has he got through? Yes, Phillips gets the win by what? 0.6.
Absolutely right. That spin happened after the judging area had finished, so it wasn't taken into account by the judges there, in case you're interested.
Appleton up against Vahumis. This will be a fantastic battle. Vahumis, the real gas man. Appleton, Mr. Consistency. The Autobahn Drift Battle at Wakefield Park, Goulburn, New South Wales. Look at this stuff. They haul them into the first turn.
There's nothing in this battle. Both of these guys very close together and very much experienced.
This will be a good battle. Who do you lean towards? I like Vahumis' style. It's all or nothing.
Vahumis has the style, but Appleton has so much experience. There's going to be nothing in this. This is a very, very close battle. Look at the angle.
Great drive from Appleton. I think he may have got Vahumis on this one.
Oh, I don't know. There's nothing in it. There is absolutely nothing in this one.
6-4 to James Vahumis. So Vahumis gets the first one. We're on board now. The K&N Filters Nissan 1 beer of Appleton. Look at Vahumis. Great style there.
Really fantastic. He's following the race line. He's got good angle and he's going mighty quick. It's all the three major elements of drifting are right there. If you want to have a look at how to do it, that's a textbook drift.
And Nissan S14.5. We'll go into that at some later date. It's very technical. Known as a strawberry?
Yeah, the Ichigo. It's got the S15 front on it.
Well done, Vahumis. He takes the win, 11.7 to 8.3. Vahumis smokes him at Wakefield.
Spent a lot of time on the setup, and that's what it comes down to. What you put into it, that's what you get.
Yes, and happy boys there. Well done. In fact, well done to the whole field in this landmark event, the Autobahn Drift Battle from Wakefield, presented by Drift Australia.